Hey, everyone. Oh,
Good morning.
I didn't realize you guys were here yet.
Hi, Megs.
Okay. Charles Dickens walked into a bar, and the bartender said, "Would you like an olive or a twist?" Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Christmas.
So close. What?
It's Christmas Eve.
I said it was that was a grueling joke.
A grueling joke. Oh.
Please,
But you know, I liked it so much. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Good morning, everybody. Gonna run through how we got here. Got here first. Brian, always here first in the morning. Says he was up all night working on WikiTree. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
Judy. Good morning, Judy. Judy. Howdy, y'all, from Christine Miller. Victor is here from Missouri.
Happy time.
Let's see. Misty Moisty morning here. Okay. Does that mean you're crying? Are you
yeah, really? The clam.
okay. And why is it we think that's going to take care of our tears? Chris Ferriello's here. Hey, Chris. John Tyner. Yoke is here. Hey, Yoke. I liked your answer to the question of the week. Ooh. Pat Jackson, Patricia Jackson's here from Kentucky. Lisa Gervais, my neighbor, about 20 kilometers that way. Hillary is here, but not for long. Her son's going to be busy. But Hillary, stay long enough to hear the question of the week, because your answer is the first one on the list. Not because I knew you were leaving, but because I'm doing yours first. Susie Carta is here. Foggy morning in Minnesota. No snow. We have some snow on the ground, despite what Lisa says. There's snow in my yard, and there's snow's coming to be here at 3 this afternoon. We will have a white Christmas. We will. Foggy, snowy morning in Minnesota. I've already said that. Hillary's still here. Let's see. My kids are coming tomorrow. It is not +4 in here. Oh no, for Christmas Day. Shh. And it's supposed to snow Christmas. It's like -7 here right now. Good morning from Chile, from Vicky Blanco. Hey, Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
Lynette Jester's here. I have a super Wally that I don't shop in. Oh, Wally World. Oh, okay. Let's see. Running down the list, Willadine Adams is here. Jeanette Isles. Hey, Jeanette. Always love to see you pop in. Let's see. Chris says SNL is not going to hire me. I'm disappointed. I'm heartbroken. Hey, Murray Maloney. Nice to see you pop in. Robert Cowan is here. Okay, Margaret Toll just jumped in, and then whoever jumps in after this point, you're fine. We're going to switch things up again this morning because Betsy has a bun in the oven. Not literally. Not literally. She's got to cook some stuff to take to a Christmas party. So
sweet potatoes.
She has to cook. Betsy's like, aren't you glad your mom's not watching? Oh, wait, right? Probably is. Greg, good morning. Yes. Happy Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Happy Christmas Eve.
There you go. Go, Betsy. Go,
okay. Go, all right. I'm going with, we're starting with photos. And let me make this lovely photo a little bigger. So this is John Thompson with his wife, Kathy. Christmas 1981 at the Sunshine Coast of British Columbia. Kathy and I, with family, bagging gift wrappings when the children pushed us into a chair and snapped a photo. It was special because my father, Grandpa Thompson, had his blended family of 7 grandchildren together while I cooked a turkey with sage and sausage stuffing as he had taught me, and Kathy prepared her specialties. Nice. Thank you for sharing that, John. And then Brian Nash, also known as most likely to arrive first to the Saturday Roundup livecast, shared this really wonderful photo from his 3rd great-grandfather's profile.
So are you going to switch the tab?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, that is amazing.
I know. Yes.
Wow.
So look at that. John Nash and Company, City Steam Mineral Water Works. So he writes, I know this is his soda factory in Halifax, Nova Scotia, around 1880. I know very little of his life before he came from Ireland to Halifax. In Halifax, he became a merchant and had the license of a recipe of ginger ale from Ireland. He was a prominent merchant and served as an alderman on the Halifax City Council. And then his son, also John Nash, was the first Northwest Mounted Police, later RCMP, constable reported as being killed in the line of duty. Oh, that's sad.
Oh, wow.
The skills of running a soda plant and the working with pipes were passed down as his son, grandson, and great-grandson, Brian's grandfather, worked as pipe fitters at the Halifax shipyards. And Brian goes on to say that the building, the John Nash and Company building, is no longer standing, but this is a very familiar landscape to him, and there are buildings in this photo that are still there that he recognized.
Is this in Halifax?
This is in Halifax, yeah.
Was it destroyed in the explosion?
He doesn't say that. He says it's been replaced by the city's hockey arena. Halifax.
Oh, yeah, I know where that is.
Yep. This picture is a link to a city that had an important part in shaping who I am today, and it shows my family's role in shaping the early history of the city. So,
Easy, cool.
Yeah, I'm just going to go over here. I went to John Nash's profile because I thought it was so cool that he had this, proprietary ginger ale recipe, and Brian has an ad for the.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Belfast ginger ale. Well, Chris in the chat was asking if this is where Canada Dry came from, which is a ginger ale.
Yeah, well, and Lisa Gervais has posted that Canada Dry didn't start until 1904.
Oh. So this definitely predated that.
Yeah. Okay.
Very cool.
Neat. So we have one more week of favorite photos. I thought the two that we had were wonderful, but we want more. So
that's a high bar.
Yep. Look through those photos. And then we have two ancestors to celebrate. So the first of these is, let me just get to the top here, John Eastcott. So this was, is Crystal James, was she with us this morning? No.
See her name yet.
Yeah, because I think she often comes.
She does.
Yeah. So this is her third-time great-grandfather, who was a Christmas Day baby. So born and died in December.
Born unto us, Johnny Scott lives.
1824 was when he was born, and he was the second of 10 children born in Devon, North Perthwin, Devon. And then as a young man, he emigrated, 1850, he emigrated to Canada, settled in Canada West, which is the part of the country that later became Ontario. And then he married. Yeah. What?
Merritt Township? That's where I live. That's my township.
Wow.
He died. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Small
You're going to be going out to the cemeteries today, aren't you?
Oh my goodness.
Looking for him out.
Okay. I gotta.
Chris, I want to interject. Brian says that Canada Dry. Brian, we need to borrow some money. Canada Dry was his brother Thomas.
No way.
Was his business partner and moved to St. John.
Okay.
We can borrow some money, Brian.
Wow. That's fascinating. Yeah, because he does if you read John's biography, he mentions his brother Thomas as a business partner. So very cool. Now back to John. Crystal mentions John had suffered a great loss on May 3rd, 1855, when his parents, 3 siblings, a sister-in-law, and her 4 children were all lost when the bark John an immigrant ship it crashed on the south shore of Cornwall. The day it left, they were coming from England to Quebec, and it left Plymouth at 4 p.m, and overnight it crashed into the Manacles, which so I looked into this a little bit. So here we have the map, and here's Plymouth, and then the Manacles are over here. And they crashed, and many perished. And what Crystal has done, I think this is really wonderful. She has created a free space page, The Wreck of the Bark John. And her goal is to put a WikiTree profile for every person who was involved there. And
Nice.
Beautiful picture.
I love WikiTree's free space projects.
Oh, yeah.
Love them.
Absolutely. So this is a wonderful example of what you could do with a free space page and a project.
Right.
Yeah. And then our second ancestor to celebrate is Harrison. Well, it's a couple. Harrison, also known as Harry Moore Smith, and Ruth Irene Dayton, who were married on December 21st, 1886 in Port Jefferson, Long Island, New York. So these are the great-grandparents of Susan Ellen Smith. And so Harry was a pharmacist, and he graduated from pharmacy school in Brooklyn right at the turn of the century. And I'm just going to share a photo of him that I thought was really nice. This.
Aw, that's nice.
Yep, he looks quite young. I mean, it says after 1900, but we have that. And then Ruth, let me come over to her tab. So there's Ruth. And Susan writes, Ruth was a Bible scholar and a member of the Baptist Church. Now, this made me laugh out loud. She refused alcohol. However, at Christmas time, she loved Mary Hagan's fruitcake. Ruth didn't know that Mary's cake was preserved in rum. That is wonderful.
Well, it doesn't count if you don't drink it, right?
Sure.
And
everyone knows that.
Fruitcake, you cook it and then you pour the rum over it?
No, I think it marinates in it.
Yeah, because so the alcohol content cooks out in the cooking process. So
yeah,
it just keeps the flavor, not the alcohol.
I see.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. Ruth loved sweets, and she tended to eat dessert before the meal.
Well, if there was rum involved, maybe that was why. Sorry, that's not.
Her son Orrin followed closely in her footsteps. So here we have there's a picture of Ruth, and there's a picture of Ruth and her son Orrin Sr. So that's Susan's great-grandmother and grandfather. And he also was a Bible scholar and loved sweets. And we have one more week for Celebrate Your Ancestors. Mags or Greg, would you be so kind as to put the link for Celebrate Your Ancestor, the G2G post? If you put Celebrate December in the search bar, it should come right up.
Okay.
Thank you. I love these. I hope everyone loves these as much as I do. I love looking at these profiles and hearing the stories and seeing the photos. So keep them coming. And lastly, we have a tip this week, which is may seem sort of elementary, but it was a good. Murray Maloney who's in the chat, was helping me out on one of the new member Q&As sessions that we do on Zoom once a month. And I had this feature disabled, and I sort of had forgotten about it. And it's so handy. The feature is this. So if here I am on my profile, and if I go to either of my parents, and I hover over their name, it will give me a little pop-up. So, and it's great. I mean, it's nice if you don't want to actually physically leave the page you're on and just see the profile ID or quickly refresh your memory of things. Same thing for my mom. So this is a basic WikiTree function. So if you are not getting this, go under My WikiTree and then go to Settings. And it's right at the top. Okay, so Profile Previews. So make sure that that's enabled so that you have that very handy.
That is handy when you're working on something and you just want to see if the thing on the page is what you need. You can really quickly do it without actually leaving the page.
And for some reason I had disabled it. I don't know if I, had a finger twitch and I clicked it when I was on settings and it got saved, but it's so nice to have it back. Thank you, Murray, for setting me straight.
Do you do this when you drink your coffee or tea? You got your
no, because I don't want to drop my coffee.
Finger twitch. Good morning, Rob from Maryland. Got some more people popping in here at the last minute. Is that all, Betsy? You got pictures?
That's lots.
Photos?
Wow. I had 2 photos, 2 ancestors, and a tip.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh. We're going to be done so fast.
That's a full house.
Betsy needs to run and get her buns out of the oven and head to her party. So,
okay.
Merry hoo-ha.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you next week. I'll watch the rest on replay.
Replay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And that takes us to the question of the week, which is, what are your genealogy goals for 2024?
And
we're going to start with Hillary Gadsby.
Yes,
Yay,
before
Hillary.
she leaves.
I would like to have, don't forget to upvote these. Got to upvote these. I would like to have my One Name Study website live so others can find it and contribute.
Nice.
Hillary, are you not using WikiTree for your one name study?
A free space page.
The free space page. Even if you've got your One Name Study at a different site, I'm going to give you a really good hint here. If you use WikiTree One Name Study projects to work on your stuff, you can get more traffic to your other site by having a link, because WikiTree does a really good job of putting that search engine optimization so that our pages pop up as the first or second or third top choice in those search engines. So it's a really good idea, and it makes it more available and more visible to other people, which is a great thing. So Hillary, I love that. Get your One Name Study live so others can find it and contribute. I think you should certainly think about using WikiTree to help you do that. Even if you just have a placeholder page on a space page with links off to it, it still gets the one name out there and people will see it. Brian Nash bringing in some information on ginger ale this morning.
All right.
Yeah, already. Spend more time updating my tree on WikiTree. I often spend much time helping others with their genealogy projects, and I forget to work my own. But isn't that the WikiTree way?
It is.
That is what happens. That's like one of mine too. This year.
Me too.
I want to work more on my own stuff. I have accumulated a lot more research preparing for some upcoming videos for 2024, and I need to get the info transferred to WikiTree. Do it. Do it. Thank you. Chris Jacques is to find the true parents of Richard Horton. Since DNA is established, he is not of Barnabas Horton lineage. Find my elusive secretive family line. Well, yeah. Doesn't everybody? Is that the skeletons in the closet? That's took 26 years and a lucky break that located my great grandfather. I agree. And the collaborative aspect of WikiTree has blown up my family tree. Just my limbs in WikiTree are so big. It's wonderful. I love all the connections I have. Learn how to use WikiTree and research the lives of my Irish ancestors in Canada and Michigan in the 1800s. This is from S. Greskovich. We need to invite S to Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we could probably find some Irish ancestors in
Mm-hmm.
Canada for her.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple, Coulter Tree Connection, biography and cleaning. I like that.
Yes.
Biography and cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
So Vernon Tree, Hampson Tree. I'm going to jump over here. My goal is to learn the proper way to cite sources. Now, I noticed in another post that people for a wish list, they wanted WikiTree. What do you, it's next week's question that I accidentally was preparing for today. So Aowen set me straight. Thank you. Is that citing sources, they want WikiTree to use the Chicago style only. And that's a great idea. And I think WikiTree does incorporate that into the sourcing. Do you know the specifics of that, Greg?
No, I don't. No.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Learn the proper way to cite sources. And I suggest that you use the WikiTree Sorcerer app to help you do that.
That's what I would think.
And that app is in the upper right hand. You can click on apps to the drop down. I can scroll up if I don't make anybody sick here. If you go up here, find apps, scroll all the way to the bottom and to WikiTree Sorcerer, and that will actually help you configure those. And I don't like the way some of the formatting is on it because it adds some breaks in there that I would rather it look like the source without the breaks. So I have actually told it there's ways to set it up so that you could take line breaks out. So you can just have it all as just one lump instead of having it return and look pretty. So you WikiTree Sorcerer, and there's lots of ways that you can personalize it and still have it show the proper citations. So that's great.
Now, have you used that to also get source citations from Family Search?
Yes.
So do you prefer that through the way the copy citation button works on Family Search?
Yeah, well, no, I don't ever use that copy. So I just cut and paste it from Family Search normally. If I'm on a record that's not, that doesn't have a listing in Family Search, because Family Search has lots of records that are like just there and they're not indexed or put up, they're just there.
That's right.
If I'm one of those, I try and figure out how to do from the record. So, and speaking of Family Search, Ann Sherwin says that Family Search has digitized 3 of her family histories published 30 to 40 years ago, but the content is not accessible online due to copyright restrictions. I hope to release them in 2024 as soon as I can recheck them and update the errata sheets. And once you republish them, you can give permission to Family Search to publish your versions. That would make them available for other people.
Wow.
And Oliver is our wonderful people. I have a WikiTree goal and a general process goal. WikiTree have trees on the 3 other major commercial sites. Although relatively small, they're fairly well sourced. Maybe that's why they're small. Yet I have only created 40 profiles on WikiTree so far. I don't like to create one without a decent biography so far. So for 2024, I'd like to get the number higher and a minimum of 100 or more. And then the process is 3 commercial sites getting to be expensive. I'd like to drop at least one of them for 2024. It's not obvious which one. For example, Find My Past has fewer people in it, but has some sources. Yeah, you got to figure that out, Charlie. You got to work on what your needs are. If you have a lot of work in England and the UK and Ireland and Scotland, then you got to really think about keeping that Find My Past, because you're going to need to be over there. I know that Ancestry has documents, but they don't have everything that Find My Past does, because Find My Past is a UK based thing. Lots of work. It's just like genealogy. You got to figure out where you need to look for your stuff. So yeah. And this is a good question. I hope some people can give you some ideas on that as well. Family Search is still free. you can get stuff, but Family Search and Ancestry sometimes don't have the same information as well as Find My Past. So good luck with that. And I'd actually like to hear what you decide, Charlie.
I've heard some people are sort of using the sort of the same model that they use for streaming. You know, they'll subscribe to one site to stream for a month, or you know, like, so with Genealogy, you could subscribe to, you know, a limited subscription to Ancestry for a bit, then maybe a limited subscription to MyHeritage, and work around that.
The
but
other
thing works for you.
Yeah, the other thing I see people doing is they wait for the Ancestry to go on their big sale at Christmas time.
That's
so
true.
They shut down their account and then start up a new account so that they can take advantage of the half off fee. I did that the first year I signed up for Ancestry in 1900. Yeah. So, and that's the other thing is look for when those sites are having deals, and you might be able to pare down based on those deals. So that's a good idea. Got a question here from Lisa Gervais, or an answer. Her genealogy goal, I think I just heard a grandchild. My grandchildren just arrived. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yay. My genealogy goals for 2024 are take over the Macklin DNA project at FTDNA. Are you going to do that with a trebuchet or
yeah,
that's right. Is this something we can watch?
Yeah, that's right.
She wants to be the admin of that project, and she's actually talked to me about it, about the process of doing that. And that's a process of, there's actually an adopt button on projects that are fallow or lying, just not being worked on, and you can actually click on the adopt. You have to go through the process after you do that and sign up to be administrator and go through the process of becoming a project administrator. But yeah, I'm excited that Lisa's going to be doing that. That'll be fun. Make significant improvements to the Macklin one name study. Macklin, I got to pronounce that correctly. Continuing adding missing family members to WikiTree where I find them. Concentrating on my own ancestors' families. There's that thing again about working on your own family. Write more about my ancestors. Scan and label more physical photos that I have and share them with family members. And a great way to do that is to put them on WikiTree. Just send them the link and they can see a whole album. You could set up space pages for those. And continue to connect Canadian nobles. I love following the talk in the Canadian project. They went off on the blueberries. Thank you, Judy Stutz, yesterday. Made me drool all day long watching the talk. But it's fun watching the discourse in the Canadian project about the stuff they're doing. Yeah. Let me jump on so I can jump off here shortly. My genealogy goal for 2024 is to complete the personal mini project that I started in the beginning of this year and add all victims of the Puttin raid. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing it correctly, to WikiTree and connect them. So if you want to know what that is, he left us a link. So we go over to the Wikipedia page, and it doesn't give you a pronunciation, sorry. But it was a raid it was a Dutch raid, Nazi occupied Germany and the Netherlands, and it was because a group of people had attacked a vehicle carrying personnel for the Wehrmacht, and they took 602 men from this village, and after the war, only 48 of them returned. So that's a very noble thing you're talking about doing there, Yoke. I love that. Wow. And everybody is saying, what a patriot, what a great project. I commend you for this project. Great work. Carol Baldwin says, to stay alive yet another year, to add my family and help and support others with their genealogical quests. There you go. And that's like the other side of me, Greg, and Brian talking about we want to work on our own stuff. Yeah. But you can't work on your own stuff on WikiTree without helping other people. Exactly. I can't. You can't. There's rabbit holes to go down. Right. So Let's see.
I was just laughing at the first line, to stay alive. I hadn't even thought of putting that as in a wish. That's sort of an implied.
Yeah.
But
Good wish.
it's good.
I want to stay sane. How about that?
Yeah, stay sane. Oh,
yeah.
That's harder.
Yeah, especially for me. Check out all the profiles in my wish list in my tree that have location categories. Liz Shiflett, who is a distant Galding cousin.
Ooh.
So Liz Shiflett is going to be working on categories, which is a great idea. When I first joined WikiTree, that's one of the things that I did first was work on categories for South Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's go. That was it. That was absolutely all of the question of the week questions that I was going to go over.
Wow. Okay.
Look at this.
Yes.
Look at what we've done.
I know. Vicky
just discovered the sorcerer could build a citation from Google Books. Yeah. I like the sorcerer. I use it all the time. And you can configure it so it makes, I like the sources that I used in high school. Sorry. I like them in a little block form. Okay. Greg.
Hello. Yes. Well, let me share my screen. I should have had this up earlier, but there we go. Okay. But before we do that, let me just give a little update on the Secret Santa project coming up.
Are you going to show us?
I am.
Are you?
I am. So for all the elves, and there's a bunch of elves who are in our chat right now. And hello, elves. Good to see you this morning. We have our kickoff event in 1 hour and a half at 12 noon Eastern time. So an hour and a half from now, whatever time that is in your time zone, it's an hour and a half from right now. 12 noon, 5 p.m. UTC, whatever. There's a Zoom meeting. Now, unfortunately, I greeted every single elf personally and gave them all the wrong URL for the Zoom meeting.
That sounds like something I would do, Greg.
Yeah, except for the very last elf number 125, she has the correct link, but everyone else has the wrong link.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the Discord, for those of you, so the 100 out of the 125 elves have Discord. So I put the correct link in Discord, and I need you to tell me that you got that link so I don't have to re-email you. But I've emailed all those who don't have Discord, and I'm very excited. I'm excited too, Mary, about this. So anyways, please go into Discord, check to find the link, and then put just say, got it, so that I don't have to email. Because once this is done, I'm going to have to go through everyone who hasn't already received the right link and email the correct one.
Do you see what your friend said?
Oh, a bad Santa. I was a bad Santa. I was so excited about getting this project all organized. I put the link in the right place, but not, there was 2 places I needed to put it in anyways.
Well,
but let me show you. There's something exciting we're doing this year that we haven't
done. No cookies and milk for you this year.
No,
they're going to leave fruit cake out for you.
That's right. Yes. So we have over 300 wishes. It's wild. This has really exploded. Now we have elves who are expert in a number of different things. We have a couple elves who actually are expert in Norwegian genealogy, and we have 1 wish or 2 wishes about Norway, but not a lot. We have some Dutch researchers, and I don't know if we have any Dutch wishes. So, we could do a few more of those to challenge our elves in that regard. Brian has a really neat, unique wish that he's made, and so I'm hoping that some people will follow up with that. But one thing that we're doing this time is I'm stealing a page from Azure, and you know how what she did for the WikiTree Day? Well, we're doing something similar. So just watch this. On the 12 days of Elfmas, what is it that I'll see? Some secret Santa fun from WikiTree. Yes, join us for the 12 days of Elfmas, where each day we will reveal 1 wish by a secret Santa elf, starting on December 26th, right here on the WikiTree YouTube channel. See you then. There we go.
All I can imagine is Mr. Rogers helped you put your clothes on today.
Yes. So we're going to have a live cast every day during the 12 days of Elfmas, starting on December 26th, and the 12th day of Elfmas is 2 weeks from today, January 6th, when the whole live cast will be about revealing all of the goodness for the Secret Santa and the wishes and stuff. So we're all very excited about that. And so join me in now 1 hour and 25 minutes for that, all of you elves. And because we have over 300, we will take a few extra elves. If anyone who hasn't signed up to be an elf and wants to be, the cutoff is 12 noon. So go to that post and sign up to be an elf.
Hurry, if you want. Leave us. Go.
Yes.
Leave us.
And I promise, if you sign up, I will give you the right URL to join the Zoom meeting. And if you can't join the Zoom meeting, we'll put the link to it so it will be recorded so you can watch it after the fact. But let's go back to the profiles of the week.
That was an odd segue.
I know it was odd. from
we wanted you to wear that outfit for the whole thing today.
I know. I should have put my hat on while I was talking about this.
I thought about running out and getting a hat. I don't have an elf hat.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I have one here, so
go for it.
I guess I'll wear them during this because we're talking about Mrs. Claus. So, an elf hat is appropriate for that topic as well. So all of the profiles of the week are actresses who have played Mrs. Claus in various incarnations. So let's see. If we go back to, I think I was on the wrong. Come on, go back to.
I love that we're not worried about gender in our list.
We're not?
No.
Why is that? What do you mean?
Collect connections to Mrs. Claus, like Barry Humphries.
Oh, Dame Edna.
Yes. He's one of my favorite comedians.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. And he's passed on. He, she. Anyways. So we are, the first one in the list was Angela Lansbury. Now, we've talked about Angela Lansbury before, so we've gone through her profile a lot. But just to give you the Coles notes, basically, or Cliff Notes, if you're more familiar with that term. She was born in 1925 in Middlesex, England, UK, and passed away just a year and a bit ago, 11th October 2022, at the age of 96, grand old age, Los Angeles.
She was one of those I thought was going to live forever.
I know, and she did. Her career was long and well established, and she kept on working for ages, and she did a great job. I just loved her. She was married twice, Honorary Academy Award, Lifetime Achievement Award, Primetime Emmy, 18 Primetime Emmy Awards. I first got to know her work because, of course, Murder, She Wrote, but she had done lots of stuff well before that, and she was
all the Agatha Christie stuff she did.
Yeah, and the what was the movie? Like, she's a wonderful singer. One of her first movies was she was a singer and
a dancer too.
And a dancer too, and which is so amazing because, of course, after Murder, She Wrote, then the other big thing that the younger generation will know her. Younger, I say relatively younger, I guess, is in Beauty and the Beast when she was Mrs. Potts, of course, right? And she sang that huge song from Beauty and the Beast, which is still one of the best versions of that. That song's been sung lots. Tale as old as time, but here she is, picture of young actress and whatnot, and she played Mrs. Claus in the movie called Mrs. Santa Claus.
There you go.
So what I've done is I found a screenshot for each of the actresses.
Yeah, that's cool.
So which is kind of neat. Yeah. But I did want to mention one other thing, and that is that there is a new tree app, and I'm just going to show it to you quickly.
Every week with this stuff, Greg.
But it's not mine. This is not my work. This is someone else's. This is Ian's work, Ian Bacall. So he has created a family group app. So because I've just been using it, it automatically popped up. But if you
saw that and I just skimmed over it, and I was like, what is this new thing? Go ahead.
It is really nice. So anyways, if it opens up to the fan chart or somewhere else, you just click on the drop down and you find family group app. So there's a family group view, which is a different some sort of similar idea but different app. But we're looking at the family group app, and when you hit go, it'll pop up here. So the primary person, it shows a whole family, a family group, hence the name. And the person that you chose is the person up top, and then it'll choose if there's multiple marriages, which in this case there is, it'll choose the first one. But if you want to choose, if you want to look at her other marriage, then you would just click on, you find the other marriage line. And I had to ask Ian where this was. I was like blind. You know how when there's so much text and your eyes just sort of glaze over and you skip things that is right there, but you just don't see it or you don't register? That was me. It was right there all this time. But the neat thing is each of the people's names is a live link. So if I click on Peter Pullen-Shaw, which was her second husband, it'll open it up and make him the primary along with Dame Angela Lansbury and show their family unit. Now, so it's all the details about him and her. And so Ian's app, if there was a baptism record in there, he'll actually pull that in and add that to the sheet. And the same with the burial and whatnot. But also, if there's research notes, it'll show them there. It'll list all the sources. And if you don't want them, you can always close up the triangle and minimize that. But if you want to open them up, you can show all that. And of course, there's a print button there, so you could print that out. It's really neat. And so all of the links for names, if you want to go, if you want to sort of navigate the tree and go up through. So there's the father, and you want to go up to see his stuff and whatnot. So it's a really impressive app. So I would recommend you spend a little time and investigate that. So thanks, Ian, for that. Moving on to our next.
We have a comment.
Okay.
And I noticed this morning. Some of the WikiTree elves are trying to get things done so they can have Elf Day on Christmas Day.
Yes.
So they changed over some of the stuff.
Oh, because
next week already, which is why Barry Humphries is showing up in the list.
Oh, okay. Well, let me put the link for the week, what I'm looking at. Okay, I just put the link there.
Yeah, Sandra O'Connor. I was like, did Sandra O'Connor play? No. Yeah, so people are having trouble doing the link. Okay, so Lee, is this you?
That's me. I just put it there. Yeah, that's the link from this current week, or the one that I'm looking at right now. Yes.
So all of the closest matches that I have listed for us are not going to work.
Oh, well, that's sad. Interesting. Well, when did they switch it over? Because
they switched over the question of the week last night or yesterday, which threw me off. If you remember my comment.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
But I thought I clicked on this morning. I mean, maybe
they may be working away. They may be just trying to mess with us because it's the new year.
It could be.
Maybe they're messing with us because you're wearing the hat.
Maybe it's the hat. I don't know. Okay.
They're having fun.
They are.
Hey, everybody deserves a day off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Even 2. Let's take 2 days off for Christmas.
Yeah.
Delta Burke, formerly Burton, born and married to Gerald McRaney. So last name currently, I guess, is McRaney. American actress and author. Most remarkable role was that of Suzanne Sugarbaker on the TV sitcom Designing Women. I never watched that one myself, but
really? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No,
I love that show.
Yeah,
really fun.
Yeah, I probably would have liked it, but I don't know. I guess it just wasn't on at the right time for me. But she other roles, including Mrs. Claus in the live-action Christmas movie The Year Without a Santa Claus. Born in Florida and married to Gerald McRaney and still living. So here's her with Santa Claus. Moving on, someone from Canada. Woohoo! Doris Irving Grimshaw Carradine. Yeah. She was born in 1919, 3rd of May, 1919, in Peace River, the Grand Prairie Census Division in Alberta, Canada. When Alberta was just a young province. She died 18th of May, 1971 at the age of 52, which is much too young to be passing on, in California. She was a script typist for Hollywood studios and an actress. She married her fifth husband was John Carradine, fifth and final husband, I think, in 57. She played Mrs. Claus in the 1964 cult classic holiday movie called Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Chris.
Oh my goodness. if that is anywhere, I mean, if that's on YouTube, someone has to give us the link, because that
Chris
is.
Fariello, have you watched that movie?
Oh my goodness. Yes, he says. Santa Claus conquers the Martians. That is hilarious. Anyway, she was born in Canada, but she did move in 45 and became a U.S. citizen in 49. So this is why she died young. She died tragically in a house fire. Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, wow.
That is dark. And she was buried back in Grand Prairie, where she grew up. But here's this is a picture of her from The Martians. You see that? There we go. Mrs. Claus, ready to clobber some Martians.
So was she the mother of all the Carradines?
Let us go back.
Kung Fu.
Like as in
yeah. Oh, I don't see any children listed. Oh, you have them over to the right. No. Okay.
I do have them to the right.
Gotcha. She must have been their stepmother.
Stepmother, yeah. Because Keith Carradine, who was is there more than one that was an actor?
Yeah, there's bunches of them.
Keith is one that I know of. Anyways, he was born in 1940, and they didn't get married until 57.
50. So she was, she's a stepmom.
Stepmom.
Look, Judy got that faster than you did.
What's that? Oh,
and she's even lagging.
Okay, Phyllis Diller.
She played Mrs. Claus.
I know. Did you have her pegged as Mrs. Claus? No, I did not either.
Did she have her cigarette in her holder?
Yeah, that's right. So interesting. So, and we've talked about Phyllis Diller before, and her. So only 2 marriages there. So she was born in 1917 in Lima, Allen County, Ohio. Passed away 2012. At age of 95, another one who lived to a grand old age. There's some interesting similarities between the profiles of the week. One of them is that many of them have lived a nice long age. So playing Mrs. Claus leads to longevity in many of them, but not all. So that's nice. The other thing is, before when I was practicing the app, remember I made a deal. I said I couldn't find the other marriages. I mean, it was right in front of me, that entry there.
Right.
Because when I first went on Angela Lansbury's in the Tree app, I couldn't figure out how to switch to the second husband. I knew she had a second husband, but I couldn't figure out how to switch to that page. So I thought, well, I'll find another profile that only has a single husband. So of all these profiles, everyone who's played Mrs. Claus, they've either had multiple husbands or no husbands. Or at least no husbands listed on WikiTree.
It's kind of hard to compete with Santa.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
really.
Yeah. So anyways, that was a weird thing. But the app wasn't broken. I was broken. I figured out. Thanks to you. Anyway, so Phyllis Diller lived to 95. So that's another similarity. And the other similarity that a lot of them have is that her Mrs. Claus was actually from an animated show. So she played Mrs. Claus in, and there she is. And get the name. She was playing Mrs. Claus and the Robot Chicken.
Chris?
Let me just see if I've got the right exact. The Robot Chicken Christmas Special is actually the official name of
that is crazy.
The Robot Chicken Christmas Special.
All right.
Isn't that?
I haven't seen that come up on my viewing for this week.
No, there she is. She must be given the Robot Chicken what for?
Or she's being Wonder Woman. That's also the Wonder Woman pose. Oh, well, I don't know. That's pretty creepy.
Isn't that wild? Okay. Moving on to June Lucille Forêt. I pronounced it with a French accent because our connection is through a French person.
There you go. 7th cousin, too.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty close.
That's pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close. But she was born in Massachusetts, in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Eric Hanlon is making sure that we understand it's an adult animated series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll take that under advisement. So this is not something I put Sophia down in front of then. Probably not. No. Okay. So she was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, 1917, daughter of Morris Forêt and Ida Robinson. She had Russian Jewish ancestry from her father and her maternal grandfather, as well as Quebecois ancestry from her maternal grandmother. So there we go. wanted to be a dancer, sent her to classes, but she had to drop out. Her first broadcast in 1930, at the age 12, did regular radio acting from there. And so this is very cool. So she's another one who did voice acting like many of the others, and like Angela Lansbury, voice acting for Mrs. Potts. And Phyllis Diller just there. She was Rocky, the Flying Squirrel, and Natasha.
Oh, Natasha.
And she was Cindy Lou Who from The Grinch.
From The Grinch.
Yes.
Oh, that's
I can't reconcile Natasha and Cindy Lou Who.
No.
I mean, those are polar opposites.
That's the epitome of innocence and the epitome of evil.
I know. But she even went on to Jokey Smurf and Magica Dispel from DuckTales. Anyway, and anyways, but she also played Mrs. Claus. So there we go. So she's another one. And this is from the Looney Tunes Christmas Tales. Now, I don't know if Mrs. Claus was Tweety Bird, because you know how they take their characters and then the characters sort of portray someone else, right? Like, so I'm not sure which one of the characters was Mrs. Claus, if it was Tweety Bird or because the rest of them are fairly male, right? Looking, I'm guessing. I don't know. But anyways, that's where she loaned her voice expertise to.
Aaron
then we move on to...
He never thought he would see a robot chicken reference here.
Who knew? Virginia Lee Gregg also played Mrs. Claus. She was born in 1916. A lot of these actresses born in the 1910s. So that's another similarity here. This one from Virginia from Harrisburg in Illinois, and passed away at the age of 70. Not bad. 1986 in Encino, Los Angeles. American character actress who appeared in radio dramas, televisions, and films. Began her career as a bass violinist. So if Betsy was here, we could appreciate the musician here. And then she switched to radio.
We can't appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate it too, but Betsy would have also appreciated it. She did voiceover work and as the mother of Norma Bates in the Psycho movies and cartoons. That's kind of creepy. But she also did play Mrs. Claus in, and what was the name of the? Let me just go back to here. She played in a Flintstones Christmas. So here's Mrs. Claus from a Flintstones Christmas.
Did she go?
Yeah, that's. Oh, that's Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, yes, you were
Fred
right.
Flintstone, yes.
Yep, I'm confused again.
That's okay. Okay. Now, Goldie Hawn, I didn't remember that she played Mrs. Claus, but she played Mrs. Claus, and her partner, Kurt Russell, was Mr. Claus, Santa Claus. And I'm pretty sure we've talked about Goldie before. My distant cousin, born in the 40s, living person, so we don't have her exact date here, though they may have put it down here. No, they didn't. It's funny because it's funny in the notables when the WikiTree privatizes their date and just gives the decade, and then the first line of the biography gives the exact full date and location. I love that. But of course, she's an American actress, well known, done lots of stuff, and also a dancer and whatnot. And so her claim to fame in this category was the Christmas Chronicles. And there's actually a sequel to it as well, which is, I have the image here for.
Kirk makes a really good
he does
Teenage Computer and Santa Claus.
Yeah. So there we go. Moving on to June Lockhart, who is known for many roles. She was the mom in Lassie. She was also Lost in Space, the Doctor, Maureen Robinson, and she was also in Petticoat Junction. And so here's some pictures of her.
She was in Petticoat Junction. You're right.
Yeah. So here she is as the mom in Lassie. There she is, the scientist from Lost in Space, and I guess this is her in Petticoat Junction, right?
Yeah.
Well, it says June Lockhart as Janet Craig and Higgins' dog from the television program Petticoat Junction. At least that's what caption says.
Yeah.
I haven't. That's another show I hadn't seen. So
here's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow.
Oh,
That's
yes.
That's from the opening song.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think our local station didn't run Petticoat Junction on reruns. It did other ones.
Yeah, it was more Appalachian.
Oh, was it? Anyways, there's a picture of her as Mrs. Claus. And do you recognize the third person, the person talking to Mr. and Mrs. Claus?
No.
Okay. Well, there were a number of different pictures. I like this one because of she's got a nice sort of motherly Mrs. Santa like look on her face. So I chose that one of the ones. But
right.
There are other ones where she's looking straight onto the camera and you recognize her as one of Charlie's Angels.
Oh,
Smith.
There you go. Lisa says it's available on Canada on reruns.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Teddy Moore was in A Christmas Story. She played Mrs. Claus in A Christmas Story and also in Mistletoe Over Manhattan.
A Christmas Story. That's the one with the leg lamp.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Isn't that right? And the Red Ryder BB gun.
Red Runner BB gun. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I'm not sure if she was Santa. I think it was the Christmas over Mistletoe Over Manhattan is when she was Mrs. Claus. I'm not sure if she was Mrs. Claus in the BB gun one.
Yep.
But anyways, born in around 1946 in Toronto, Canada. There's our Canadian content. And her father was a Scottish-born economist, and her grandmother was an actor. Father also an actor. And anyway, so her claim to there she is in Mistletoe Over Manhattan with Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Nice screen grabs.
I know.
Yeah.
I know they worked out well. Mary Frances Reynolds, better known as Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah. We love Debbie Reynolds.
She was. We mentioned her last week too, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, someone mentioned her.
Postcards from the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, distant cousin, and it's coming up to the anniversary of her and her daughter's passing. Right after Christmas. Remember, Carrie died one day, and then her mother died the very next day.
They were such close friends.
Yeah.
As well as mother and daughter. So.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice they remained friends or became friends again. I'm not sure if there was a rocky patch in the middle.
Everybody
isn't there?
Everybody's a teenager, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Anyways, we have talked about Debbie Reynolds, and we all adore her. So I won't go into huge details, but 84, not bad, but it would have been nice if she and her daughter had lived longer, because we enjoyed them. But her claim was she was, again, another animated Mrs. Claus. And the movie that she was in was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie.
The movie.
The movie. Yes. So there she is. And then we have two more. Miranda Richardson, who's done lots of stuff. She was born in the 50s, so she's still alive. Played Queenie in the Black Adder series. And she was... that's on BBC, but also she was Rita Skeeter in the Harry Potter films. So that's the reporter, the nosy reporter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you'll recognize her face because she's done lots of other stuff as well.
Right.
But there she is as Mrs. Claus in the movie Fred Claus. So
Fred Claus.
Yes. So
that is one of the ones in my Christmas viewing ability.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Vince Vaughn plays the brother of Santa Claus, right? And this Paul Giamatti here is
Santa Claus. Is.
Yeah. So, but she looks lovely there.
She does. I like how you're trying to make the Mrs. Clauses that we are looking at have a maternal kind of glow about them.
Well, of course. And then
also an acting family legacy. I'm assuming she's talking about the last one.
Yes. Yeah.
It's Lynette. Okay.
Yeah. Her so she comes from good acting. Yep. And the last one we're going to end with is Betty White. Everyone loves Betty White.
Oh.
I know. Passed away New Year's Eve. December in 2021, age of 99. God bless her. So, and we could go on, but we won't, because we have already gushed about Betty White many times. And
we have gushed about Betty White.
And we love her, and she's got a wonderful profile.
It was real, right?
What's that?
Was it a real one or an anime?
She was live.
Aww.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah. Let's hope she's telling a clean joke to the kid.
Well, the name of the movie is called Noddy, Noddy.
Ooh.
I think that's the name of an elf. I don't think it's supposed to be naughty, but I don't know. Maybe she was. Anyway, I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know. But Betty White's in it, so it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, it's got to be good. It has.
Or at least it'll be funny. If it's
I like
not
her.
good,
I like her outfit with the little.
Yeah.
What do you call that? What did my mom call those?
Sash?
My mother.
It's not a sash. Cape.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you say? Is that
a sash or a cape?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Anyways, she's the last of the Mrs. Clauses that we're going to talk about for this week, and I finished right at 11.
He did, and we were trying to do that because I have little grandchildren's feet over my head right now, running around, and I can't wait to go up and hug them and wish them a Merry Christmas, which is what we're having with this part of the family today. But we do have some things to show you. Let's see. I turned off my screen share, so let me get that back up. Go to the window. Yep. Present. There we go. So we've got some things coming up. Have you registered for the 2024 Connect-a-thon? Yes.
Ooh.
Have you?
I have.
They've already signed up all of us hosties for the most.
Team Italy this time.
What'd you say?
It's Team Italy this time round for me.
Team Italy.
Yes.
Team Italy. Yeah, I'm probably gonna keep with my roots of the Appalachian team. So
yes, that makes sense.
They're fun. Blueberry, no biscuit. I did say Appalachian earlier.
Yes,
biscuit. We got site maintenance last week. We were talking about that last week. So if you have any questions, you want to look at what's going on. If you've noticed anything quirky happening, you shouldn't have. But if you did, you can go and answer on that post. What is this? Secret Santa. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's by Greg Clark. Secret Santa wish is accepted. That's great. Then we've got what's happening around WikiTree in December 2023. This is the final.
No, we have another one.
Next week is the final of the year.
Next one is,
It's the final roundup of the year. So you need to be here next week for the 30th. So we've got some things coming up this week. We've got Data Doctors Challenge is going to continue. The German Stammtisch is still running on 1:30 on the 28th. The weekend chat. You notice there's a lot less stuff really running fast this week because it's a big holiday week.
Yeah.
And everybody needs a day off. The Appalachia Make Appalachia Shine, the Bio Builders, Canada's special year-end challenge, Connect U.S. Black Heritage Project Notables is running, the Connectors, Jetty German Connectors, Iceland Project Mini Challenge, the Integrators, Notables for TV U.S. reruns, which we were talking about today, Notables Sports Sledders, Scotland Holiday Challenge, Sorcerers U.S. Black Heritage Connecting Always. That is always on the go. The U.S. Civil War is not on the go, but we're working on it on WikiTree. We Will Rock You. It's hard to say rock you.
Yeah,
rock you. Be an elf for Secret Santa. You've got 1 hour? You got
1 hour to sign up to be an elf if you're not already an elf.
Yeah, sign up so you can grab it there. Yeah. Make your Secret Santa wish. You need to do that as well. When is the cutoff for that?
It's also supposed to be noon. We've got lots of wishes, but we do. I mean, there was those few.
Forget about doing another wish. Okay.
Well, unless it's like Dutch or Norway or Black Heritage, we don't have many of those. Anyways,
Chris just brought up 52 Ancestors will be back next year. I noticed that Amy Johnson Crow did have her official posting. For the 52 Ancestors. I shared that on social media, but we have Amy Johnson Crow to thank for that wonderful thing, and we certainly follow her guidance on that. We don't have social media to share with you today, but you can still share on social media any of these events in your social media feed and let the world know about what we're doing on WikiTree. Greg and I and Betsy, what is up with my speech? I have not had any eggnog or anything yet. So we wish you a very safe, a very merry, and a very happy Christmas and New Year, and hug your family. We love seeing you every Saturday, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Have a great holiday.
Have a great holiday. See ya.
Bye.